Good morning. It is Tuesday, the last day of April, the 30th. Here's what we're working on. Today is the deadline to file and pay your taxes to the Canada Revenue Agency.
Niagara Region officials are planning to increase the number of speed enforcement cameras.
And the Rolling Stones kick off their 48th tour in North America. Still at it.
Stop me up. Let's get going.
Let's do that.
Let's do it.
Lots of problems on the roads north of Toronto this morning.
Oh, yeah, man.
The problems this morning are in the Toronto area. We have nothing here in the Hamilton area. Why is my tie
Get yourself together
here this morning?
Yeah.
Just flip it out of the way.
Last day of April, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get rid of April and get into May because I know April is showers, but come on. We've had showers yesterday. We got showers again today. Tomorrow into May, we're going to get some sunshine and the temperature will climb up into the 20s. So it's looking better for tomorrow and as well into Thursday. So we'll talk about that. But today, showers are possible on and off, even some drizzle, and today's temperature about 19, which is thankfully better than we got to yesterday. So we'll talk about that in a few minutes. Okay, in this area, in the Horseshoe, in Hamilton, no problems. Here's the 403 and Waterdown Road. That looks pretty good at the moment. We'll check a couple of MTO traffic cameras. Here's the top of the Burlington Skyway Bridge. Nothing here. As you come toward the Skyway coming out of Stony Creek, that's the Red Hill Creek. We'll show you problems in Toronto. This is the 401 at Yonge. This is not a collision. This is just a number of vehicles hit something on the highway, and they've all got flat tires. So we've got a big problem right here with everybody having to squeeze over. So yeah, once again, not a collision, just a number of vehicles with flat tires. And then this big problem at the 401, this is going into Whitby. So this is just east of the 412. We've got a complete closure of the 401 in both directions, and it looks like this is going to go on for a while. But that, of course, is further afield. The Horseshoe, nothing at the moment. We'll look at weather and traffic in detail coming up in a few minutes. Right now, the news.
Okay, thanks very much. Well, today is the last day to file your personal income tax form and to pay if you owe the CRA. Simone Gavros joins us with more on some of the penalties you could face if you miss today's deadline.
Hi, good morning, Annette. Well, yes, today is the last day to file your taxes. And if you do miss the deadline today and you owe money, there are some steep fines and interest that you may be having to deal with. Now, the CRA says that starting tomorrow, if you do start filing on May 1st, there's an automatic 5% late filing penalty that will start tomorrow. That'll apply to the balance you owe, plus an additional 1% for each month your return is late, and that goes up to a year. So you could be potentially paying up to 17% in interest. Now, experts urge Canadians to file on time to qualify for refunds or different benefits and credits, including the GST, HST credit, Canada carbon rebates, as well as housing credits. But a recent survey from H&R Block says nearly 1 in 4 Canadians have yet to file their taxes, with 25% of those saying they'll miss the deadline entirely and 4% not planning to file at all. The survey points to 2 driving factors for not filing just yet, and that's fear of owing money or just not prioritizing at all. Now, many tax services are open early today. Some right here at H&R Block, they open at 8, and they close pretty late as well to help people file their taxes by the deadline tonight. But for now, Tim, I'll send things back to you.
All right, thanks, Simone. Let's get back to that situation in Whitby that Brian was talking about in traffic, because the SIU, they're investigating after a fatal crash shut down both lanes of the 401 near Whitby. This happened last night. In a video statement posted on social media, OPP Sergeant Kerry Schmidt says the collision involved Durham Regional Police and that the SIU, they are now investigating. Eastbound lanes of the 401, they were closed at Lake Ridge, while westbound lanes were closed at Brock Street in Whitby. Now, Durham police say they were responding to a robbery call just before 8 o'clock when a suspect vehicle fled. When police gave chase, this vehicle started heading the wrong way on the highway. The pursuit ended in a crash involving several vehicles in the eastbound lanes of the highway in Whitby, just east of Highway 12. Police say there were fatalities. We do not know how many or if anyone was arrested. We'll continue following this story, though.
A Hamilton police officer who assaulted an Indigenous man is going to keep his job, but he will be temporarily demoted. Brian Wren pleaded guilty last year to assault after kicking Patrick Tomchuk in the face and head. The assault happened in May of 2022 during an arrest at a gas station. A hearing officer from the OPP has decided that Wren should go from being a first-class constable to a second-class for 1 year, effective immediately. In the decision, the hearing officer wrote that he found, quote, the argument that he is a strong candidate for rehabilitation compelling. Well, Premier Doug Ford is calling on Toronto and other Canadian cities to stop drug decriminalization and to deal with drug use in their communities.
Reinvest into rehabilitation. The last budget, I believe, was 396, it's 300 and something, to reinvest into treatment centers, into health, mental health and addiction. That's what we should be doing, not legalizing hard drugs. Like, you got to be kidding me. Like, letting people do cocaine and crack and heroin, you got to be kidding me.
British Columbia is significantly rolling back its drug decriminalization pilot program, including the recriminalization of drug use in public spaces. And earlier this year in the United States, Oregon also ended decriminalization after a 3.5-year pilot, saying that unintentional opioid overdoses more than tripled between 2019 and 2022, while drug overdose deaths grew by 44% last year. Well, the province of Ontario says millions of dollars are going to be spent on vape detectors in schools, but school boards say they need more direction on just what that money is going for. The response follows the weekend announcement from the Ministry of Education on vaping and cell phone use in schools, calling them both big distractions. The Ministry of Education says it's now going to ban vaping in schools, even though it hasn't been allowed before. The government said on Sunday it's strengthening the rules around students caught with vapes or cigarettes. They also announced $30 million to install vape detectors and other security upgrades in schools. But some education workers are worried that it's not going to cover all the school bathrooms across the province. And that's where they say vaping is a huge problem. And while the government announced the funding, it is still up to individual school boards on how to spend the money. But some staff say it's not enough money. We have an update now with the City of Hamilton's cybersecurity problems. The city has launched a new job posting website for essential recruitment. This new platform replaces the previous job posting website, which is still down because of a ransomware attack earlier this year. For the latest information and a full list of service disruptions, you can visit the City of Hamilton's website.
Sportsline time. Plenty of playoff action in the NBA and NHL. Let's start with the Blue Jays, though, coming off snapping that 5-game slide with a win over the Dodgers on Sunday. Welcome Kansas City to town, and Justin Turner led the power surge.
The guys can pick it up.
Turner lifts the ball to left field. Melendez going back. See you later. Second home run of the game for Justin Turner.
Yeah, Turner, who leads the Blue Jays in every offensive category thus far this season, did it again last night. Using the long ball, hitting not one, but 2 moonshots into the seats for his first home runs at the Rogers Center since signing with the club in the offseason. Danny Jansen celebrated his replica jersey and glasses night by smacking one into the seats, too, as Toronto would score more than 5 runs for the first time in 21 games. Vladdy Jr. had a couple of hits, drove in one. They win back-to-back games, holding on for the 6-5 win. Nate Pearson picked up his second career save. Jose Barrios on the mound tonight.
Worst case scenario, we're going to overtime. Jokic a screen, Murray to try to break the tie. No timeout by the Lakers. I got to go.
Now in the NBA for the second time in Denver's series against the Lakers, Kitchener's Jamal Murray would hit the game winner. This time it would eliminate LeBron and his Lakers from the playoffs. Murray, who had to overcome a calf injury, would score 32 points, including a couple of highlight reel buckets in the 108-106 Game 5 win. The defending champs from Denver are now off to the second round, ousting the Lake Show for a second straight year.
SGA has a step on Marshall, leans to the cup and laid it in. Some confusion.
What about that other local lad? Well, things went pretty well for Hamilton's Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, too, and his OKC Thunder against the New Orleans Pelicans. They had no issues with the Pels. In their first round series, SGA would drop 24 in the 97-88 Game 4 win and sweep away New Orleans. First place squad in the West are now off to the second round. They'll play the winner of the LA Clippers or Dallas Mavericks series.
One of the skate of Hagel. Back for Verhaeghe. Rockets one. Into the chest of Vasilevsky. The rebound. He scores.
Man, it's fun today. So many local guys doing well. Waterdowns. Carter Verhaeghe in Florida will score his 5th goal of the Panthers series with their Sunshine State rivals in Tampa to get the party started. It was his 20th playoff goal for the Panthers, which is a franchise record. He would score another one, help them dominate the Lightning in Game 5, 6-1. They take the series in 5 games. They now await the winner of the Leafs-Bruins series with Game 5 going tonight from Boston, with them leading 3-1. More on if Austin Matthews will be even ready to play coming up in Sportsline next hour.
Cross for Sagan, wrist shot, glove save, knocked down by Thompson. The rebound, score! He does it again!
Dallas Stars and Vegas Golden Knights series has not been about home ice advantage. The Stars in Game 4 from Vegas would tie the game in the second and then score the winner just before the end of the frame. Hold on for the 4-2 win to tie the series at 2 games apiece. The road team has won each and every game in this series. We'll see what happens in Game 5 as it heads back to Dallas tomorrow night.
6:11, off we go into the last morning of April, and it's a wet one, appropriately to start. We've got some light rain that's redeveloped right now in the Hamilton area. Here's the 403 and Waterdown Road. Not a lot to see there. Pretty light volume. It's going a little slowly, and that's because the roads are so wet at the moment from the precipitation that we've had throughout the overnight, and we're getting right now. To our MTO traffic cameras, here's the QEW at Glendale. Nothing right there. We're looking at Fort Erie bound lanes heading away from us. To the Red Hill Creek camera, once again, getting a little bit busier, but still moving nicely. No problems, 403 in the junction with Brant Street. That looks good. Here's east of Royal Windsor. You can see the roads are getting progressively wetter because the rain is a little heavier through this area. Now we get into the problems in Toronto. Big problem here at the 401 at Yonge. We have multiple vehicles with flat tires. They've hit something on the highway here, so we've got all kinds of blocking vehicles. And it looks like even emergency crews are there. We've got a fire department vehicle there as well, but this is listed as multiple flat tires. And of course, the big problem, the 401 east of the 412. This is in the Whitby area, complete closure of the 401 in both directions, and this is going to go on for a while. All right, let's get to our temperature at the moment. Temperature sitting at 9 degrees right now, which is about where we were yesterday morning at this time. Light winds. We have some light rain happening at the moment. So for school today, we are going to get some showers. We're going to get some drizzle later on, but a 19-degree high. Better than we got to yesterday. There's the shower activity that we've had over the past 6 hours. Quite a line of it going up from the southwest all the way into Algonquin Park across Ontario. It's a frontal boundary going to give us the instability and the low pressure for the day today. Tonight we'll get more showers. Tomorrow we're going to get into some sunshine. Hey, as we get into May. Yay! All right, let's hear it, because it's going to be milder temperatures too. Today will be milder than yesterday. Yesterday we struggled to get to 10 degrees, but today 19 to 20, but a little bit cooler for Halton Peel into Toronto, 14 and 16 degrees. Tonight down to 9. Fog patches will develop once again. Chance of some showers, particularly in the evening. But temperatures again about 9 and 10. Tomorrow into May, look at the temperatures spike up 20, 21 degrees with lots of sunshine. Once again, a little cooler. Halton Peel, Toronto, 16 to 18 degrees. So out the door this morning, the 30th morning of April, we have some light rain. Temperature right now, 9. Long range coming up. Annette, Tim.
Okay, somebody's very happy about your forecast, Brian.
Yay.
It's Emily.
How can you not be?
Finally, some sunshine and warmth. Yay.
Is May your favorite month?
No.
No?
July is my favorite month.
Yeah, you like the heat, don't you?
And then August. And then
Yeah.
September. Then October, because I like the fall colors.
Yeah, rank them all for us, could you?
Then maybe May.
Emily's calendar.
You asked.
I said your favorite month.
Oh. Well, anyways, Mick Jagger is gyrating still.
Stop me up.
Age of 80,
Yeah,
all over the
craziness.
stage,
Craziness.
kicking off their tour. We'll talk about that. Britney Spears has finally resolved the issues with her family, and a brand new movie based on a great novel to talk about as well.
Okay.
See
Coming
you
up
in a
in
bit.
business news, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau pushing back against claims that recent investments in EV battery manufacturing doesn't provide jobs to Canadians. Those stories and more business news right after this. Just after 6:17 on your Tuesday morning. Canadian dollar is down 13 basis points to 73.08 cents US. Gold is down $30, while crude is up 15 cents to $82.78 a barrel. Checking midday trading in Europe, markets are up in London, but down in Frankfurt and Paris.
Off to Asia we go. Markets are up in Tokyo and Hong Kong, while Shanghai saw a slight slide. North American markets kicked off the trading week with some gains across the board. Triple-digit gains as we head to Wall Street and the Dow Jones. Let's see how they do on this last trading day of April.
Well, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has told construction union leaders that his government's going to do everything it can to make sure that most jobs that are linked to electric vehicle projects in Canada will stay local.
In Hamilton, when I walked around one of the steelmaking plants and talked to people who were third generation, or just in Honda, at Honda last week, talking about the folks who've worked there for 50 years. We're now guaranteeing there will be 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th generations of workers in these investments because we're doing that. So at the center of our desire to draw in these investments and partnership is to make sure there are good, well-paying jobs for Canadians.
Trudeau was speaking at the Canada's Building Trade Unions annual conference in Quebec. The trade unions have asked the Prime Minister to intervene, saying Canadian workers are being sidelined in favor of foreign employees at the Nexstar EV battery plant in Windsor. Now, Trudeau and Nexstar deny that, saying a select few positions have gone to foreign workers, and that's for equipment installation. The opposition Conservatives have tabled a motion in the House of Commons demanding to see the contracts for the 6 electric vehicle projects that are already underway in Canada.
After a dry winter, Canada imported more electricity from the U.S. than it exported for the first time in 8 years. StatsCan says the country imported 2.7 million megawatt hours of electricity from its southern neighbor in February. So that's slightly more than the 2.6 million megawatt hours we sent down south. StatsCan, it says drought throughout much of Canada led to a 12.5% year-over-year in hydroelectric generation, which drove an overall decline in electricity production. And Quebec saw the biggest decline, producing 61.6% less from the same month last year. Ontario's exports, they were down 29.5%.
A long-delayed Canadian pipeline getting ready to start sending oil to the West Coast. And that means that things are looking up in Fort McMurray, Alberta.
What supports the oil sands supports our economy here locally. And there's a level of optimism that exists in the community today. We're seeing new investment come to our region. We're seeing new businesses open. We're seeing people come to our region, and that is an exciting, optimistic experience that we're seeing right now.
Fort Mac has seen its share of ups and downs over the years. With the Trans Mountain pipeline starting to pump bitumen, it looks like the boom is back on. The Trans Mountain expansion is going to increase capacity from about 300,000 barrels a day to 890,000 a day, improving access to export markets for Canadian oil companies. A recent TD Economics report suggested that Canadian oil production this year could grow by between 6 and 10% year over year, and that's because of this development.
Okay, that's a look at business news. It is coming up on 6:21 on your Tuesday. It's Friday for somebody.
Oh, who? Oh, me.
Well,
me. I almost said that it was Friday earlier, and I'm like, it's Tuesday.
Yeah, somebody's going
Sorry.
away for a little bit. So anyways, or off for a little bit anyways. We'll have a forecast for what we're going to experience as we head into May with our friend Brian after this.
Good morning, 6:24 on the last morning of April. We're looking at the QEW in Martindale. Absolutely nothing going on through St. Catharines. Very light volume. The top of the Burlington Skyway Bridge, Toronto bound towards us, getting a little busier, but still moving okay. No problems at Third Line. Lauren Park looks good. Toronto still has the big problem at the 401 and Yonge. In the collector lanes, what this was listed as was multiple flat tires from some particular problem on the highway there. And of course, the big problem is further afield. It's in the Whitby area. 401 closed both directions between Lakeridge and Brock. Here's a look at the camera just east of the 412. As you can see, both directions closed. But OPP, in an update, has just told us that the westbound lane should be opening shortly, they say. All right, let's get to our temperatures. Hamilton right now sitting at 9 degrees, 7 Grimsby, 8 Toronto, 10 for Mississauga. When we talk seasonals now, they're 15 for the daytime high, 5 for the overnight low. Sun times, we gain a couple of minutes as far as sun's concerned, so obviously sun is up. Not that we'll see a lot of it for the day today, and those are our records for today. For school today, still some showers. We should be 11 degrees for the first bell, and chance of some showers, even some drizzle, and 19 after school. That's the high for the day today. 9 overnight tonight, still some showers possible, particularly in the evening, but then some fog patches overnight. But look what happens as we get into May. Sunny and 21, sunny and 22 for Thursday. Did the weather gods know that Annette was going on vacation tomorrow? Is that what happened here? All of a sudden, the sun comes back and Annette's off. Woohoo! All right, 16 on Friday, a little bit of cloud cover for Saturday, but sunshine back for Sunday. That's your forecast on that, Tim.
Okay, thank you, Brian. I am loving that forecast.
I bet you are. I bet you are. Okay, well, close to 100 bawling Japanese babies faced off in a traditional crying sumo ritual.
So pairs of toddlers wearing ceremonial sumo aprons were held up by their parents, and they faced each other in a sumo ring at a temple in Tokyo. Staff wore demon masks trying to make the babies cry. Oh. The first one to bawl declared the winner. The traditional crying sumo ritual started in 1991. It's believed to bring these infants good health and to ward off evil spirits.
Okay, but
Get them all cried out for the day.
Yeah, goodness. Just cut some onions in front of them. I was cutting this onion last night in the kitchen, and the kids came up just like, "What's wrong, Dad? Are you okay?" I'm just like, bawling. It's the onion.
Oh,
it's the onion.
Sure, not what you were watching on TV.
No, I'm getting my age now. I'm just like, I'm crying over commercials.
Yeah.
You were just like, oh, that got me. Yeah, right there.
Okay, let's watch this commercial and we'll be back right after the break.
Yeah, there you go.
Hold the onions.